Welcome back to Super Trax, the most exciting motorsports anywhere on television. We're going to take you now to the Oakland Coliseum for wheel-to-wheel monster truck racing. Defending national champion Jackie Willman has Taurus ready to take on the rest of the U.S. Hot Rod Association field. Gravedigger, piloted by Lyle Hancock, is the fast qualifier with a time of 2.46 seconds, which gives him lane choice every time he pulls to the starting line. It also means he wins the Valvoline Fast Qualifier Award for this week on Super Trax. And it means Gravedigger will battle his old enemy, Bigfoot, in round one. We'd like to thank the folks at Valvoline for their continuing support of monster truck racing. With that said, let's go racing in Oakland with the voice of Super Trax, Scott Douglas.
Tom, the fans in Oakland are ready for an absolute dandy. The world's 6 best monster trucks are on hand, looking for a U.S. Hot Rod victory. Let's go to those Goodyear first-round pairings, and you'll see our fast qualifier, Gravedigger, has drawn an assignment against Andy Brass and Bigfoot. Then, 2 former world champions, Jackie Willman and Taurus, against David Morris and the Equalizer. And to round it out, a war at the Chevrolet camp. It's the Barefoot Chevrolet and the Carolina Crusher Chevrolet. Outstanding first-round matchups, and we begin with the fast qualifier, the Gravedigger, going up against Andy Brass and the Bigfoot Ford. Now, Lyle Hancock has been doing a super job subbing for Dennis Anderson in Gravedigger, but in qualifying, he hurt the truck. He's going to be injured in the first round. He got the fast time, but he paid the price. The truck is damaged. Let's go to Lyle Hancock and find out what happened.
I came down the left axle that we put in the front. We had welded it up trying to get in to make a qualifying run. It locked the front end up as it broke again. I got to go back in and try it again. We're actually going to have 2-wheel drive in the back instead of having all 4 tires hooking up from somewhere it's a handicap. But if I don't pull to the line, I don't get any points. And this is a situation where we're running for the money and the points, and you got to be there to be in the top.
A couple of questions come to mind. First off, does Andy Brass and Bigfoot know that the Gravedigger has sustained damage? If he does, he might ease up a little bit. If not, you can expect Andy Brass to really try and nail it here. Also, 2-wheel drive doesn't totally handicap the Gravedigger. He'll get a push off those back wheels. Let's see if it's enough. Gravedigger and Bigfoot. Bigfoot gets the win, but what a performance by Lyle Hancock with only 2-wheel drive. He took Bigfoot to the test. The big Ford wins it by inches. You're going to isolate the replay right here. Andy Brass, nice straight shot. Lots of air under the carriage of Bob Chandler's creation out of St. Louis, Missouri. And it's good enough for a win as Andy Brass brings Bigfoot down home with a victory. The Gravedigger, though, despite having only 2-wheel drive, gives us a scintillating performance here and almost pulls the surprise. You can see there's really nothing happening with the front wheels. Everything for Gravedigger is coming off the back. And what a push he gets. A lot of air, a super run, but not enough to take on a 100% effort from Bigfoot. Gravedigger is eliminated in the first round by the Ford from St. Louis. Our next matchup will bring out 2 former world champions, the reigning world champions, Jackie Willman and Taurus, and former champ David Morris and the Equalizer. Not only is it a matchup of former world champions and 2 of the top young drivers on the circuit with David Morris and the Equalizer out of Springfield, Tennessee, and Granite City, Illinois' Jackie Willman. This is also a matchup of 2 of the more innovative truck builders in the sport. Gary Cook built the Equalizer. Jack Willman Sr. built Taurus. And what these 2 guys did years ago was start working on theories of how to get weight down on monster trucks, how to make them faster by being able to work, 1, on making the chassis rides easier and smoother, and 2, by getting the weight down so they go faster. These guys are innovators, and they're at the head of the pack. This time, though, it's Taurus that is able to come up with the victory in a side-by-side matchup against the Equalizer. Reigning world champion Jackie Willman comes up with the victory. We'll go isolated, and you can see Taurus actually lifted the front wheels coming off the starting line. That's not necessarily good, but it didn't cost him anything as he had a lot of momentum when he hit the starting ramp, and the Taurus Chevrolet looks good at the finish line. Jackie Willman getting the victory on a nice, smooth run. A lot of power for the Taurus Chevrolet out of Granite City, Illinois. One more time, we'll look at both trucks on this replay. Indeed, coming off the starting line, Equalizer was dead even. But a little more power in the air for Taurus, and Jackie Willman comes out with a victory by about the length of one wheel. Taurus will go in to the semifinal round. Equalizer, though, may not be done because the fast loser out of this first round will get a chance to advance into the semifinals. One more matchup in our first round of competition, and as we said about the previous two, this really ought to be something else. All top-name marquee trucks here in Oakland like this guy. Gary Porter, the Carolina Crusher out of Wadesboro, North Carolina. The Crusher, one of the top veterans, a savvy, experienced driver, but he's got his work cut out for him here as the Carolina Crusher has to meet up with the powerful Barefoot Chevrolet. This is Freddie Schaefer out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois. The two big General Motors machines, Chevrolets, trying to advance into the semifinal round at Oakland. The Crusher and the Barefoot Chevrolet. Freddie Schaefer with a whole lot of the front wheels, but it's a good run for Freddie Schaefer and a victory. Watch him at the end of the run, though. He comes off the line in good shape. Like Taurus, lifts those front wheels up just a little bit, getting the power from the back wheels to push him up the ramp. Now watch at the end of the run how his front end comes down, and he gets a whole lot of that weight right on those front wheels, kind of rides a reverse wheelie for a moment or two, but he's able to bring the back end down in good shape. And it's a victorious run for Fred Schaefer and Barefoot. This time, both trucks on the replay. Carolina Crusher on the left of the screen got out of the hole in good shape, but Fred Schaefer just had too much for him once they got in the air. And Barefoot comes down, the victor, here in Oakland, so he'll advance into the semifinal round, where Barefoot will be matched up against the fast loser. And after that run by Carolina Crusher, a good run, but we're told it's not good enough to bring him back as the fast loser. Equalizer is going to come back later. Let's recap that first round of competition. It was Bigfoot putting Gravedigger away. Taurus eked out the victory over Equalizer. And then in the matchup we just watched, it was Barefoot putting Carolina Crusher on the trailer here in Oakland.
So Bigfoot takes Gravedigger to the cleaners in first round action. Taurus advances, and the Equalizer gets to come back as the fast loser. Barefoot puts Carolina Crusher on the trailer as a long, disappointing season continues for Gary Porter. Well, I hope you like trivia as much as I do, because we're going to throw yet another Super Trax trivia question at you. Here goes. 90% of all monster truck bodies are made out of what material? A, fiberglass, B, steel, C, plastic, D, bubble gum. Bubble gum? Who writes this stuff anyway? We'll have the answer and round two action from Oakland when Super Trax continues.